Welcome back to From 9 to Mom.
Where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos that we call motherhood.
And today our episode is all in support of World Down Syndrome Day. We are joined by a good longtime friend, Julie. Technically friends with your sister, but of course I love you. You're basically family.
Yes.
We're so excited to have you on today to really talk about this topic, but we obviously want to dive into your motherhood journey, your kids, and hear all about your background. So let's get you to kick us off. We want to hear about, of course, kids are your life right now, but where were you before baby number one came? What were you doing? What were you working on right before baby number one came?
Okay, so I was originally a teacher, and then I like to call myself a retired teacher. And then I kind of hit the salon business for a little bit. I was like a receptionist, and I was subbing, and then started dating my husband. We got engaged, and then we got married. And we were older in life, and so we knew we wanted to start our family right away, just because we knew we wanted a family. So actually, we ended up getting pregnant the night of our wedding. We got
no
married.
way.
Yep, we sure did. Yes,
that is incredible.
Yep, it gets better. We got married at Shea's. Our reception was at Shea's here in Buffalo, and our daughter is named Shea.
That's so sweet.
Shea, after Shea's theater. And
I never knew that.
Yeah. When you tell her this, like, have you told her this yet? Like, hey, you were made on our wedding night at Shea's. That's why you're named that?
Yes. I don't know if she understands that she was made on our wedding night, but yes, we take her to Shea's. She loves the music. She loves like all the like Trolls that comes there, like all the kids shows and whatnot. So then we had Shea, and she is now 8. She'll be 9 next month, and she's the reason why we're talking. She has Down syndrome. And then Benjamin is my middle. He's my son, and he is 6, and he'll be 7 next month. If you're noticing
Wow.
pattern.
You really like this time of year. Okay.
We love this time of year. And then Sienna is my baby, and she's 4, and she'll be 5 in May. We tried in April, but didn't work out. So yeah. So,
it can't be perfect.
So really it's just it just worked out perfectly. We just kept trying, and we're so fortunate, and got pregnant when we wanted to, and all the things, and we have just 3 healthy babies, and we're so lucky. So lucky.
It's amazing. And it's so funny you say you're a retired teacher, because Ryan's a teacher, and he wishes he could be retired, but I'm never going to let him retire.
Yeah. But you know what? I also say, like, everything happens for a reason. Like, I am so glad I was a teacher. I'm a teacher. Once you're a teacher, you're always a teacher. Because since I had Shea, there's so many things that I know to teach her. And we'll get into that, and behind the scenes in the teaching world, in the school world that I know. So I was meant to be a teacher.
Yeah, I love it. So let's back up before Shea was born. So you got pregnant. When did you guys find out about her diagnosis?
So Shea was actually a birth diagnosis, which means I had no idea through my whole pregnancy. And when I had her, we found out. So it was quite a shock. Yes.
Was that, because she's already 8, almost 9. Was there, and my kids are, barely 4. So there's definitely different testing now. Did you have any of the testing while you were pregnant?
Okay. So when I was pregnant, when I'm going to say but I mean my husband and I, because we were he's very supportive. So when I was pregnant, we had the option, I think, of getting like the Down syndrome test and all those tests, but it truly didn't matter, because nothing would have changed our decision no matter what. So, but yes, we had all the tests, like whatever. And I remember going to the doctors and, getting the test, and everything looks fine. No Down syndrome, no this, no that. And I was like, okay, great, whatever, no big deal.
Right.
And I had a girlfriend that I was pregnant with at the time, and we were constantly like exchanging stories. And again, this was my first child. So everything that was going on inside, I had no idea. This was my first time happening. So I kept seeing like the ultrasound, and everything looked normal. And I hate that word, but everything looked normal and typical. We never like tested for Down syndrome because why? I don't care.
Right.
And honestly, it wasn't something we thought of. It wasn't,
with your first baby, you really don't know. You just go in and do what they say unless you talk to someone else.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that was that. Do you want me to continue to go on with the birth?
Yeah. Keep telling us. We want to hear all about how it happened.
Okay. So then so perfect pregnancy. So I've had 3 pregnancies. Shea, by far, was my favorite. And again, I don't know if it was because it was my first and I didn't have to deal with 2 other children or another kid, but I loved Shea's. Like I just loved everything about it. I just loved being pregnant with her. So go in 2 weeks early. Okay. So I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, oh, this baby's really burrowing. So I go into the hospital and I was like, I just, something's happening. And everyone's like, no, you're not having a baby. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Something's happening.
Something's wrong.
6 centimeters dilated. I'm like, let's go. Okay. So my favorite number is 8. We go into the maternity room, delivery room, number 8. And I'm like, yes, here we go. So everything's perfect. I'm just like, don't know what I'm having, girl or boy. We didn't find out anything.
Oh, okay.
No sex, no
total
nothing.
surprise for all of it. Okay.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So,
and
scary, all the things. So, I get the epidural, everything's great. Wonderful. My parents are there. My sister's there. My husband's there. We're ready for our lives to change forever. Okay. So baby comes out and they put her right up on top of me. And I see this baby, this beautiful baby. And I'm just like, like she's just like, and I've never seen a brand new baby in my life before. So they take her away and I'm like, oh my God, it's a girl. Oh my God, Shea. I can finally say the name Shea because I've been holding it for so long. No one knew our name. So then she comes over to me and I'm holding her. And for 5 seconds, I remember thinking, is my baby healthy? And I think that was my word. Is my baby healthy or is my baby okay? Because for 5 seconds, I saw Down syndrome. I saw Down syndrome in the eyes. Yeah. And again, I don't know what a baby looks like. Like, I don't know if that's normal because I know they're swollen. I just saw Down syndrome for 5 seconds. And as soon as I saw it, I knew it was gone. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're just holding her. No one's saying everything. And then at the hospital I deliver, they give you the golden hour. So no one talks to you. You get to do skin to skin and it's all fantastic. Okay. So we're just looking at her and loving her. And, I don't know. I guess some things are going through me, hindsight now. Okay. So I might have a feeling. I don't know. But again, I don't know. It's my first baby. Okay.
Right.
So the pediatric doctor comes in, who is one of our friends. Like we're friends with everyone. It's just so amazing how Shea brings all these amazing people in our lives. So the doctor comes in and my family comes in too. And then the doctor comes in and she's like, oh, we want to do a test on Shea. And again, I don't know if this is normal. It's not. And she does a test on Shea and I'm just like, just looking, and she goes, can we talk to the parents? And then the family leaves. And so she's like, we think that your daughter might have Down syndrome. And I'm like, what? Now, I'm not educated on Down syndrome at the time. I thought the worst.
Absolutely.
First thought was she's not going to live a full life because I didn't think people at this time, I didn't think people with Down syndrome lived a full life. So I thought she was going to die at 20. So that was my first thought. Second, I thought I was going to have to be stuck with her for the rest of my life. Like I had all these plans after my kids grew up. Like me and my husband are going to travel. We're going to do all these things. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be stuck with her forever. Then I thought, oh my God, she's not going to get married. She's not going to go to prom. Like all the things that you have when you have your daughter, like your life just changed in a second, like your dreams, all the hopes. I'm not going to take her to prom. I'm not going to take her prom dress shopping. Like all those things just like, Okay.
Consume you. Yeah.
Oh my
God. A
God.
flood of
yes.
emotions.
Oh, so many emotions. And I just had a baby, and she's my first child, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Like,
right.
all the things.
Right.
So we were like, okay, you're wrong. Like, no, how do you know? Like, no,
They're
you're
trying to
wrong.
calm
So
you down.
stage one was like a lot of emotions, then straight
Shock.
denial. Like,
oh yes.
No.
So it's a grieving process. We were totally grieving. So then they were like, okay, well, we have to do a blood work and da 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 da. And like, I tell the doctor to this day that I respected her so much for not like telling me yes, and for not giving false hope. But like, I understood why she couldn't say, yes, your daughter has Down syndrome. Like, I understood all of that. To this day, I talk to her. I respect her. Like, I love her. She's amazing. So I was bawling. No, this doesn't happen to me. No. So they had to take her away to do tests because, so a lot of people with Down syndrome have some heart issues. So they wanted to check her heart, all the things. And honestly, it was so wonderful because I didn't want her around me at that time. I didn't want her to feel my anxiety, because obviously I'm keeping her. There was nothing I was going to do.
Right.
I can't shove her back up. So this was my life, and here we go. Right. So, but I just didn't want her around me. I just had to accept it. Okay. So, that's where we are right now. And still couldn't believe it. Thought I was dreaming. But
I'm sure like you're saying, it's like that grief process, but then tied to like how I'm going to move forward with life from there. So what kind of, you get Shea home, you get through that first process. What was your mentality from there? Did you go straight like I need to educate myself mode, or were you just like, how did you navigate?
So we're at the hospital, and I know how to take care of a typical baby. And that's what I kept saying. I don't know how to take care of a child with Down syndrome. And they were like, it's the same way. It's the same way. And I'm like, okay, I got this. And she was just the most beautiful thing. Oh my God, her cheeks were so fat. And she was so good. And you just like, you just loved her. And she's so smushy. So like with babies with Down syndrome, they're so low muscle tone. So literally she was just a smush. Like,
cute little squishy baby.
Yes, just so much squish. And then like you would look at her and you'd be like, no, she doesn't have Down syndrome. And then you'd see a picture and you'd be like, oh my God, that baby has Down syndrome. Like it would play tricks on you. And so they did blood work. And we had to wait like a week or two to see if she has it. So there's 3 types of Down syndrome. Trisomy 21, which Shea has. Why World Down Syndrome Day is 3/21, March 21st. There's oh my God, I'm going blank. I didn't even write these down.
You got to go from memory here.
There's mosaic, and then there is a genetic Down syndrome, and I can't remember the technical term, and I should have been researching this, but the most common one is trisomy 21. Yes. So Shea has trisomy 21. So we were just like, oh, okay, which one does she have? She doesn't have it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're released, whatever, gets home. And again, this is my attitude. Can't shove her up. I can't exchange her. This is my life. Let's go. I love her. I wanted a baby, and I wanted a girl first. And here we go. So we come home and we're just ready, like, let's go. So we had someone come in the hospital and talk with us. My neighbor actually has a child with Down syndrome. So we see them out when they come, and we talk to them, and they're like, this is, everything's great. Don't worry. And then, everyone starts sending you things, and you're like, I can't, you're overwhelmed. You're like, I don't want to see it. I can't talk about it. I can't see it. Yeah.
Cause like, did you tell people, like, it's a strange thing, right? Because all you want to do is like, you have a beautiful baby. Like, she's a beautiful baby. You love her. You want to announce her. But did you tell your family after the doctors told you? Did you come out and say things? Like, I'm the type of person that I feel like I would have had to say it, like, and put it out there. just so people could like, that's just how I do things in my head. But what were you like?
Okay, so my immediate family that was there, we said they think that Shea has Down syndrome, and everyone was shocked. Everyone grieved in their own way, and that's the thing. You grieve, you grieve, and it's okay. And this is like one of my favorite things to tell new moms is it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling. You don't want.
I respect you so much for saying that, because I feel like you think like. We all at some point through our pregnancies or our babies, like you are always like, and I now have a very different understanding as a mom of two, what healthy babies like mean versus like you said, you have 3 beautiful, healthy babies, but that misconception in the beginning, because we are not educated about stuff in the beginning, I think that it's brave of you to say like, you felt that way. But
but it's okay.
You got through it.
Yes. And that's what I want people to understand so much. And I have gone to hospitals when my sister had her babies, I got to go talk with someone. I do get to talk to people sometimes.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
That's all I want is just, it's not a death sentence. And that was another thing I thought I was entering a death sentence, and I'm not at all. Like Shea.
Yeah.
Like she's just the best thing in the world. But it is okay to grieve, and it is okay to be like, I didn't ask for this. And we will talk about this more later, but I do go back to those feelings to this day.
Sure.
I will feel those like, I didn't ask for this. Why do I have to deal with this again?
Right.
And it's okay. It's okay. And I have my pity party for 5 seconds or 5 minutes or whatever it is. And then I get back on the horse. Right. So, I forgot where I was with Shea.
Yeah, we wanted to hear, like, how did you get yourself educated about everything? Yeah.
So everyone's sending me things, and okay. So everyone's sending me things, and I picked and choose what I wanted to look at because, again, I was overwhelmed and I was in denial. But at the time, there was a show on Born This Way. And it was on, I think it was on TLC at the time. And we slowly watched it, and I could only watch a certain amount, and then I'm crying, and it actually came on at the right time. Again, everything happens for a reason. And there's just certain things that there's still things I can't look at to this day. I was just educated by talking to people. That was the best way that I was educated, more than going on the internet, is by talking to people that were parents of people with Down syndrome. And that's the best way that's helped me, is just talking to parents.
Yeah. Well, it's so cool that you say it that way, because that was a big reason that I wanted you to come on our podcast, is because there's things, that Danielle and I can speak upon and relate to. And we found like one of the reasons we're doing this is because no matter what you're going through as a parent, hopefully somebody else has been in a similar situation, or that, and hearing stories of that make you feel better, and they give you real advice. Like, you can read all these articles and stuff, but the real advice and the personalization of talking to somebody is really important. So,
and I want to say, I know Down syndrome, but as a special needs mom, I feel like you can take this in any special needs or, any tough time in your life. And I didn't ask for this, and it's okay to say that. Especially as a mom.
Yeah.
Especially as a mom. Yeah. Everyone's dealt a different set of cards. And
absolutely.
They all come at different times.
Yeah.
So what would you say was some of the biggest support groups? Was it just family? Did you join any group? Is there groups? There
are groups. There are. So it's really, again,
resources?
It's when you're ready. Everyone is on their own journey, and you can't push that person, and we were on our own journey, and it's just trying to find certain people. And when you're ready, it's tough. That's tough. Yes.
Yeah.
We went to groups.
And that's where, is there, I guess what I'm trying to see is there so anything that you thought was worth it, or things that you tried that then you backed out of, joint, I don't know if there are support groups, or if there's things, was it ended up, did you get most of the advice from just doctors and then kind of just paving your own way?
Okay. So yes. So we have an amazing, doctors, medical staff around us. We have We have the best. I love our doctors.
Yeah.
I love all of our doctors. So like at every Shea's pediatric doctor, I would be like, is this normal? Again, my first child.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that I'm learning as
right.
my mom and then a child with Down syndrome. So I was like, he was like, oh, okay. I'll remember this. Like he was checking something and he's like, okay, this happened. I go, is that normal because she's a girl or like 2 months, or is this because she has Down syndrome? And he's like, no, just because
right.
she's a girl, 2 months old girl,
a human.
you know? Yeah. Like I just had no idea. So no, and I would just always ask and like, okay, so she's 6 pounds. So she's on the chart. Is this on the typical chart with her peers, or is this on the Down syndrome chart? You know, I just constantly asked questions, and I just asked questions, honestly. And the doctors were always so amazing. So amazing.
Which is important.
That's so nice.
You have to ask, not be afraid to ask questions ahead of what's going on as a new parent,
if I just didn't like somebody, I would just find someone new. Like if they didn't mesh with me, I would find someone new.
Yeah.
And which is also very important.
Yes.
Yeah. Like finding people you trust. But I think one of the things that I wanted to ask about, like once you got through this, because you're saying you found this great group of people answered your questions.
Yeah.
You mentioned all these I'm going to call them misconceptions, but misconceptions that you had, things that ran through your mind when Shea was first born. Obviously, things have changed for you as you've learned and grown and evolved. So we talked a lot about some of the misconceptions. I don't know if there were any others, but what has where are you at now? Like, what have you learned, and what might have surprised you a little bit that you didn't fully think?
I was so afraid. I remember when she was born, and it was April. So, we would go somewhere and I would see groups of girls walk down the street, and I was like, oh my God, Shea's never going to have friends. She's never going to be walking down the street. She's going to be home, and I'm just all those things, and I feel like now that I have another daughter, like you have those fears too. Like, oh, she's going to be,
you didn't even think about that.
But it's true. Like, she's going to be bullied. She's not going to have any friends. Oh my God, is she going to be this? And I wrote this down as a note. It just takes time to know your own child. I had no idea what being a mom was. And then I didn't know Down syndrome. So just add these extra fears. But it's all these fears that I have for all my children. But I just multiplied with Shea because I had no idea what Down syndrome was. Now, I got to tell you, Shea at her school is the mayor. She knows every single name, every single person. She is so loved at that school that I couldn't ask for more. It's all I dreamed of. So I really was wrong. And she will have friends. It just will be in a different way. And my other children are going to have friends. It might just be in a different way that I kind of planned for them, but it's going to be the way that they have their plan. And who am I to change that? So I was just so wrong. No, she's definitely not going to live with me forever. I am going to beg her to live with me forever. She needs support. Sure. Will I build a house for her in my backyard with a camera so I could see her 24/7? Yes. But no, she is so independent. She's amazing. Like, no.
I think that's a big misconception about, like you were saying, like you felt like it was a life sentence of having her attached. So you talk about, I'm so happy to hear her thriving at school and that. And one of the questions we did want to ask you was, how did you advocate for her in school?
We started Shea in school at 2 years old by herself, and it was strictly socialization. I was like, I don't care about academics. Strictly socialization. I want her to be friends. Now she has therapy. She had therapy her whole life. So she's like, I just want her to be with friends. I want her to talk with her peers, all the things.
And if anybody wants to know what school, if anybody's going through this and wants advice, Julie, it's cool if they reach out to you after the episode.
Please reach out to me. I would love to talk to anyone.
We're not going to say names on here, but we will share with, if you need advice, Julie's. As long as you're good with it.
Call me, text me, email me, all the things. Yes, please. And then, so we went to the school for a couple of years, and then preschool we went to, and then we went to our district for kindergarten, and she was in 811 special ed, inclusion class. All I wanted was inclusion.
Okay.
And the only reason, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why I want her just to be with her typical peers. We're not, I'm very, let me see how I worded this. I'm very realistic with Shea, and I want to just put that out there right now. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I want to say like realistic goals. Okay. So I want her to talk. I want her to be the best she can be. So I want her to like socialize with her friends. So she does that. She works hard at school and writing her numbers and knowing her letters and knowing her name. And her teachers and her therapists and the administration, they all work really well with me. And I speak with them regularly. So we know what we expect. I know they know what we want to work on. And I just have realistic demands, realistic goals, and we're all on the same page. So I really have not had to demand anything. We're going with it. We're going with,
but it's good though that you're
Shea's pace.
Yeah. But you have goals in mind too, that you're advocating for. And, that's probably 100%. Why you are on the same page, that you're 100%. You're able to speak on
her
those.
Community and her friends and her students and all of them, they just love her and they help her.
Yeah.
All the things. She's just the best.
One question that just made me think about now that it wasn't actually something we sent your way, but
that's okay.
How do your other two, because as they're getting older, they're recognizing, do they understand that she has Down syndrome? Or did they not?
Yes,
okay.
No, they totally do. So Benjamin, I believe, is the most loving, thoughtful person because of her. Empathetic is the best word that describes him because of her. I had put him in inclusion classes. So he's in first grade. I put him in an inclusion class because of that. I want him to see other friends other than children with Down syndrome. And he loves her so much. And he'll be like, this is Shea's superpower because she has Down syndrome. And it's just, does he understand what it really means? No. But does he know that it takes Shea longer to do things? Yes. Does he understand that he needs to help Shea? Yes. Does he understands a little bit? Yes. And then my little one, she does, like, she'll understand, like, not as much as my son, but she does. She'll say, yes, I do need to help her. Or why does Shea do this? And I'm like, well, because she has Down syndrome and it just takes her a little bit longer to understand or do things, but she could do it. It's just going to take her a little bit longer, so, but they're just starting to form this beautiful bond too. It's just,
I love that your son is like, that's her superpower. Like, what a great way to,
and we say that
say it to the world.
Shea's superpower is just making everyone smile. She just has this amazing superpower. She really does.
I love that. Yeah, I was really, really curious just as they've gotten older and they understand a little bit more. But that's amazing that he is that way, and it's going to make him a good person. Those are all amazing qualities that anybody would want to teach their kids, right?
Yeah.
And it's like just going to be innate. For him.
Yeah, and I don't teach that. It's like it's something you can't teach. He just loves her so much. Yeah, it's amazing.
So one of the next questions we had was about milestones. So thinking about in general, like all of the milestones. Me and Danielle have done many podcasts where we've talked about milestones and like, kids saying their first words, their teeth, when the teeth come in, when the stuff that you like constantly worry about with any child. How did you, and because Shea was your first, trying to learn those, and I'm sure it was questions with the doctor and that, but like which ones maybe made you most concerned, or like how did you gauge your milestones?
I love this. Okay, I had no idea, and I think Shea has made me the mom that I am today because it was on Shea's schedule. It wasn't on the doctor's schedule, and it wasn't on whatever you Googled, right? So but then this is like where I felt left out too, because I would have girlfriends who have daughters around Shea's age and they're like, oh, she's getting her first tooth. And Shea's still I'm still creating her like a baby. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but no, I don't care. I didn't care. And that's how I've mothered through all my kids. So I don't care. It's their time. It's their, whenever they're on it. And I feel like that has helped me help them. So like Shea didn't walk at 1 when you're supposed to walk. She walked at 2. And that was my goal for her because I was having my son. When she was 2, and I'm like, I can't carry her and carry a newborn at the same time. Like, that's just not, and she did it. She did it right when she was 2. I wanted her to crawl when she was 1. Now, again, we surround ourselves with amazing people, therapists, PT, OT, speech, her special ed. We worked so hard on making her crawl at 1, talking. So, she just did it. Like she lost her tooth when she lost her tooth. Like she still can't write 100%, but who cares? Does anyone write anymore? Like we text. So I don't know. Point. Now, one of my favorite milestones of Shea though, and I just hanging out with other people her age, like she dropped her nummy or her pacifier. Everyone has a different name for it. The nummy.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll never forget this. So she was like April, May, like 6 months, and she dropped it, and we were working on picking things up because it's a skill. And that's another thing as a mom, you don't realize how hard she works. Like picking up something is so hard for her, and she worked her tail off. And I remember her picking it up and putting it in her mouth, and I was crying because that was so huge. Where I see Benjamin when he was born, just do it like in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh my God. But every milestone, her picking up a fork to eat, we would literally clap around the table. And my son and daughter would be like, she's eating with a fork. She picked it up and put the food in, every milestone, everything. It just, you appreciate everything so much more because you know how hard they work. It's everything.
Like, just listening to you talk, I think sometimes we take for granted, like we're like, the art of comparison is so terrible. It's such a terrible thing. And we all at some point have fallen victim to it. But like the gift, like you said, her superpower, like the determination, the hard work that she puts in, and then your family, like you giving your kids the gift of not being like, oh my God, they aren't talking at this. Like you're letting them do it at their own pace. The gift of that she gave her siblings too, of that pressure, like taking that pressure off and allowing you to be a mom that can enjoy, in a way, I don't know. That's like, it is a superpower. Like, I know it's probably difficult, but what a great gift. Your family is probably so like wholesome and kind and understanding. Like some parents spend their whole lives trying to teach their kids not to be little jerks. You know what I mean? And you've got these incredible kids who are so understanding. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, it really is. And I give it all to Shea because she's really taught me patience because, she can't just put a puzzle in or she can't just clean up, so it's like, I can't yell at her. I can't yell at her for not cleaning up. I can't. How can I yell at her when I have to really say, Shea, stop what you're doing and put it in there. You know what I mean? And then the other kids help, So no, and I totally believe that like milestones, I don't even know what a milestone is. Whatever you do and whatever you accomplish is amazing. And I truly mean that.
And it's such a perspective because
it is.
A lot of moms spend a lot of time worrying about it. And, I think the walking thing is like a huge thing of it, right? Like people are like, they need to walk by the time they're 1 for any kid. And when they don't, or they do it early, and then you feel like you're better than everyone else because it's just, it all really truly doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. And then like I've learned so much from Shea, and then like just the fundamentals of everything. Like there's a reason why you sit when you sit, and there's a reason why you move your foot and you move your arm, and it's all comes from eating to sitting to moving to chewing to playing. Like it all goes hand in hand, and your kids will teach themselves how to do it. Typical kids will do it. Right. But like we've had to teach Shea. We had to teach Shea how to stand up. We had to teach Shea how to crawl. Where it's amazing. And then you need to crawl even just like a day before you walk, just for mind, to get your brain working, one of the pieces of your brain working just before you walk for, speech reasons or whatever. It's just, it's amazing how you just know what they know what to
Yeah,
do.
right.
Just let them be. Of course you have to assist them. You can't just let them do it, but it's
well, and you mentioned all the people. I mean, I had went through the state here at South Carolina. Colton had like OTPT speech, all that fun stuff. And I just think that I don't know what the New York State service is called, but they are a true gift. Yeah, the early intervention there. Like, I would recommend that to anybody who's having any that can qualify for it, because they are amazing.
That's another topic. It's okay that if you need early intervention, it is okay. Shea is who she is because early intervention. And then here's my other, I love early intervention, is my son sat with her for most of them too, because he was there pushing her and he knew how to do things because I'm sure of early intervention. And early intervention is amazing. Yes. If you need it, you qualify for it. Yes. They're just such loving people. And we are friends to this day with all of Shea's therapists.
That's awesome.
They're amazing people. These people become your family.
Yeah. Yeah. They're a full extension. So the last question we had for you was more of an advice, because we could talk for hours, honestly.
I would talk for hours.
We don't want to lose people. So what advice would you give to parents who have just received a Down syndrome diagnosis?
Yes. Okay.
Whether they're pregnant, babies here, wherever they are, what would you tell them?
All the things. My favorite thing to say whenever I talk to a mom, it's okay to feel how you feel. Yes, you can cry, you can grieve. It's okay to say, no, I didn't want this. Nope, I didn't want this. No, you didn't ask for this. You did nothing wrong. Nothing you did was wrong. You're actually one of the lucky people, and you will see this. You're going to go to bed dreaming. You're going to go to bed thinking of Down syndrome. You're going to wake up thinking about Down syndrome. You're going to probably wake up with tears in your eyes. That will go away. I promise you. Grieve. You have to grieve. You got to get all those feelings out. But I promise this will be the best thing that will ever happen to you. I promise. There will be hard times. There will be hard times, but it will be the best. But there is hard times even with just typical children, not even with just a child with Down syndrome or special needs. And there are days when I go back to those moments. I noticed it when Shea went to kindergarten, like milestones. I struggle because, like, her peers, she has peers that are so more advanced than she is. And, they're doing other things. Do I get jealous? Oh my God, yes, do I get jealous? But it's okay. It's okay to get jealous. But I'm also so happy for them because they are good friends with Shea. And I feel like that's okay. It's a normal feeling, but I would not trade Shea for anything in this world. I mean that. She's just so, she brings light to everywhere she goes. So it's truly the best. It's hard, but it's awesome.
Good advice. It's very good advice.
Yes, I think that's such good advice to all parents, like you said too. Like, you're going to go through things with all your children, but I think it's been so helpful you talking through it for us. I think just to learn a little bit more about it and what it really looks like at home, but also I'm sure there are people who are listening, and this is going to give them even peace of mind. Like, I know, like, newly pregnant individuals, when they're going to testing and they're learning about things, like, this is like a comforting conversation to know, like, what the real situation is, and the gift that you were given, even though it's a difficult gift, it was a gift in your eyes. And I think that is such a cool thing to hear. And I know that because of Shea, you are a huge advocate for those with Down syndrome, and World Down Syndrome Day coming up. You have an event. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Oh my God, yes. Okay, so we started this 4 years ago. March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day, 3/21, Trisomy 21. So we started it. I wanted to celebrate Shea. She's awesome. Let's spread awareness. That's all I want. I just want everyone to know about Down syndrome. I want to know how great Down syndrome is, all the things. So this restaurant, Duke's on Transit. It used to be YOLO for those of you that are local. We started there 4 years ago, and we decided to just have like fun and celebrate it. We had auctions, we have 50-50 raffles, and really just awesome time. So the owners there, they have another restaurant, 29s. It's in the Whirly Golf Dome. And we are going to have it there this year, new location. So just as fun. We're going to actually do a few different things this year. We're going to have live music and new location.
Amazing.
And, but it's 50-50, cash bar and, let's see what else. Cash bar, 50-50. We'll have some soft bites, but the menus will be open so you can order food. We'll have live music. We'll have the raffles. And it's really, honestly, just fun. It's just fun. It goes...
A big celebration.
It's a huge celebration. Yes.
Yes. I absolutely love it.
It's just, it truly is. It's really so much fun. What else was I going to say about it? I was thinking of something, but it's 29s. It's in the Whirly Golf Dome. So such fun giveaways, not really giveaways, like auctions.
Yeah.
Chinese auctions.
We'll make sure we'll post the information for anybody that is local in Buffalo that wants to join or come meet Julie, or Shea,
please.
and
She will be there. Yes. Yeah. And it's family friendly. So please come. It starts at 5:00. Music will go on at 6. And, really, honestly, reach out to me if you have any questions or anything. But
yes, we'll make sure we tag Julie, and she's definitely a great resource for any moms that are looking for more information. Not only just up here in New York, but anyone that is listening. So,
and if you're local, go support. Great.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sorry, that's what I was going to say. All proceeds that we make that night, we donate to a local organization, Down Syndrome Parent Groups of Western New York. We just love to help out locally, so we give all our proceeds to them.
And if you're not local, maybe go start your own.
Yes.
In your local town. Let's start a revolution, right?
Let's go.
Wear blue and go. Julie, thank you so much. This was wonderful.
Thank you, guys. This was so fun. Thank you. Thanks for helping me.
All right, it's time for us to clock out, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.